Hello lovelies, it's Miss Lady Lace here on my Pinup Glamour channel and Pinup Glamour podcast, and today I have for you a new video post where I'm going to be showcasing a glamorous hair tutorial demonstrating the fabulous look that I am wearing now. It's a quick and easy updo for those lazy pinup hair days. If you're a long-time glamorous friend, welcome back, and if you're new here, I share tips and tutorials on pinup, burlesque and the vintage lifestyle, as well as so much more. So if you love any of these things, be sure to subscribe as I post new videos every week. So today I have a hair tutorial and I'm so excited to be making this all for you, as it's something that is truly fabulous and not too difficult to do as well. Now, I do sometimes get comments when I post up videos calling them lazy, that people often say, oh, that's far too much effort for me. And if that's the case, that's no problem at all. But I'm someone who does vintage hair every day. I wear it in curls every day. My little tip is using a wet set, so only curl it once every 3 to 5 days. But when I've been a little bit lazy, or I couldn't be bothered curling, or I know I've got an event on in a couple days and I need to set it tonight, but I've got a day in between, this is my go-to look. I call it my version of lazy, as it will only usually take me about 5 minutes in the morning to put together. If this amount of effort is not for you, that is no problem at all. I'm very much someone who believes in each to their own in the way they dress. So if this is for you, I'm so excited to share today's tutorial. We'll get started and I'll break down what you'll need for this look. For today's tutorial, you're going to need a bristle brush, a paddle brush, and a teasing comb that you can divide with too. You'll need a bun donut, which I have simply cut into my desired length, a hairnet matching close to your hair color, hairspray, this is just the Coles brand one which I use for all my tutorials, and lots of bobby pins. I just use these little straight ones here. I've got them in 2 lengths, including a longer one and a shorter one. We'll start by taking our paddle brush and giving our hair a thorough brush through, just making sure that that's all neat and there's no knots in our hair. For today's styling, you could simply pull all your hair back and roll it up from here, but I always like to have a little vintage style at the front, so I think today I'm going to do a double victory roll, but you could pretty much do anything at the front here. You could do double victory rolls with the roll up at the back. Anything your heart desires, you can add that in, but I'm just going to start by sectioning. I've already got a side part that I usually have in my hair. I'm going to go to the opposite side of this and take another side part, so I kind of line it up with the outer corner of my iris or the high point of my eyebrow, and I section back to create this. I then just go through here and section this in to make it nice and neat, and I do this in a circular motion. As I section, I use the comb side just to brush through to ensure any flyaway hairs or stray hairs are brushed in the correct direction. With a lot of our vintage styling, we work from back to front, so I'm just going to pin this out of the way until I'm ready to style that. Oh, I forgot to mention before, but you'll also need a hair tie. Next, we're just going to lightly brush that remaining hair. And I'm brushing it all in a downward direction, as I want this all neatly flowing down. I'll take my bristle brush and hairspray, and I'm going to go through and spray along the sides, as I usually get some flyaway hairs in the section. And I'm going to brush this down, flowing in the direction I want it to sit. Always remember to spray in the direction you want the hair to sit as well. If I have any flyaways here and I spray up against them, it's going to push those hairs up rather than spraying them down, working with the direction, working with gravity and getting everything to sit beautifully. I'll apply that same method on the back as well, just ensuring any flyaways are nice and slick down, because I want this top bit to pretty much all just come together beautifully. Next, I'm going to tie a ponytail, and I'm going to tie this fairly low and down towards the base of my head. Next, I'm going to take my hair wrap and I'm going to wrap the back of my hair up into this. So I'm starting by grabbing that ponytail, and from a mid-length, I start to wrap the ends around and then roll in towards the scalp. To secure this, I take 2 bobby pins on either side and I push that into the bun donut and firmly against the scalp. I can then spread out the hair in that section. I'll take a bit of hairspray and I'm going to smooth the back edge and just use the palm of my hand to sculpt that up. Now, if that's feeling pretty secure, you don't need a hairnet, but I like just to pop one on just to be sure that style's going to look fabulous all day. For these smaller styles like this one, I like to use old hairnets. So sometimes when you wear hairnets, they'll eventually get older and they'll get holes in them. So this one's got quite a big hole here. So I'm going to use this old hairnet and just use the bottom half of that, pulling that up, and I'm going to tuck that into the top there so the hole can't be seen. With the back done, I'm now ready to style the front, so I'll pop that out and give that a nice brush through. As I'm brushing, I'm just ensuring I'm not catching any of the hair already styled to the side. I'm really focusing on just that front fringe. To get the double victory roll, I'm going to take this and I'm going to split that in half using the dividing comb. And I'm going to choose which direction this flows in. So I generally go from right over to the left. So this is going to be the bottom one that I style first because we always work from back to front so we don't ruin any of that styling. So I'm going to take this top section and just pin that out of the way. From here, I'm going to style this just like I would any victory roll. So I'm going to start by teasing, working from the scalp using the C motion and not just pulling backwards and forwards really quickly. I'm always teasing on that high angle so I get the most volume in the hair. Smoothing with a bristle brush. I'm then using a bit of hairspray and I'm going to smooth that up using my bristle brush. Taking 2 fingers, I'm going to wrap the hair ends around this and continue to roll into the scalp. Taking a couple bobby pins, I'll secure this into place and I'm catching the edge of the roll and then pressing against the scalp. Taking a bit more hairspray, I'm just going to sculpt that using the palm of my hands and using the edge of the brush to catch any of those flyaway hairs. I'll then remove that second section and repeat that same method, starting by teasing using that C method, holding on that high angle, smoothing with a bristle brush, adding a bit of hairspray and continuing to smooth. Really being careful not to catch that other victory roll or the other hair styled. Taking the 2 fingers, wrapping the hair around this, then rolling inwards. I sometimes like to use my other hand just to press up and create a bit of volume in the curl there. I'll then just play with the positioning of this until I'm happy with where it's sitting. But I think straight off the bat that's looking super cute. So I'm going to take a bobby pin, catching the edge and pressing in. Going through the middle now, I'm kind of capturing that and I'm pressing that against the other victory roll so it's helping it secure in that area. Finishing with that hairspray and just working on smoothing and catching any flyaways. I especially like using my tail comb at this point as it catches all those little fine hairs without needing to get my fingers in there and possibly catching the hair there. I like to check over in a bigger mirror and I use a smaller mirror just to look at the back of the hair to make sure it's all sitting nice and neat. To jazz up this look, you could simply add in a tied up headband, or you could grab something like a vintage hat and pop that on just to further embellish the look. And with that, this fabulous style is complete. This is definitely one of my go-to looks and I truly hope you've enjoyed today's video and it's maybe given you a little bit of vintage styling inspiration as well. If you did like today's video, be sure to give it a like and a comment as that really does help me out, and if there's any other videos you'd like to see, do let me know in the comments below. For early access and other vintage fun, I do have my Glamour community on Patreon. I'd like to thank all my patrons, but especially my VIP Glamour patrons and Burlesque Glamour students. The support you give me truly helps me in creating more here on YouTube. For more vintage hair inspiration, I post super regularly to Instagram and TikTok. Simply follow @MissLadyLace and be sure to drop me a message so I can follow you back too. To never miss out on my vintage fun, be sure to hit subscribe and I'll see you in my next upload. Stay glamorous!